Hello, everybody. Welcome back to ESPN's Football Forecast with myself, James Allcott, and replacing Hugh for this week, Nubaid. Nubaid is a good friend of mine, and he's a Liverpool fan, just to get it out of the way early doors. And we will be talking about their nemesis, their arch nemesis, Man City, in this video. Arsenal taking on Man City. Arsenal have lost their last 9 Premier League games against Man City. Last time they got a point was a draw in April 2017. Man City are flying at the moment. Nubaid, is there any way that, first of all, Arsenal can stop Man City? And then second of all, is there any way that anyone can stop Man City when it comes to the title race?
I wish there was an answer for this question, because
there's little nooks and crannies. We're trying to find something here, but it's getting really difficult, isn't it?
Yeah, it's getting to the point where I'm thinking, okay, if this guy gets injured, and it comes to a point where you're just going, whatever happens, Pep will find a fix. And I'm not too bothered by people saying he spent millions, because they still have issues, but he just finds a way to find a way to win the game, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
They take on Brentford, and I'm thinking Brentford trouble Liverpool with them deep crosses. So he starts Aki, so that the deep crosses didn't happen. And then Brentford just couldn't. I mean, I was watching it thinking, are Brentford really bad today, or are City really good? And every time I watch City, I think, are X, Y, and Z really bad today? Are City really good?
Well, that's another thing, actually, because I've seen this all over Twitter, actually. People saying that oppositions don't even really give it a go against Man City. Do you think there's any truth in that?
I mean, Ivan Toney said it was like the year 11's taking the ball off you. So if you've played football, if the other team has 95% of the ball, the 5% chance when you get the ball, you have to do something with it. The pressure's just much higher. And if you're not a Manchester City player, or you're not a Liverpool player, or a Chelsea player, when you get the ball, in reality, you need a lot more than 5% of the time in possession. I think that's the issue. I don't know if you watched. Are you watching Arsenal now and thinking, "Oh no, Arsenal play out from the back. This is a recipe for disaster."
Well, yeah. I mean, this is the thing. With Man City, it's suffocating, isn't it? It's just it's not like Liverpool, where they give you a chance. They do give you a chance because they do push everyone up, and they also play with a high intensity a lot of the time. So there are times where, especially against a team, say like Leicester, recently on the counter attack, there is something there for you if you've got that pace and you're quick in transition. With Man City, I feel like over the years, that first year that Guardiola was there, it was one where, they didn't have he wanted these sort of like pretty centre-backs. He's kind of changed that now. He's got Laporte and he's got Stones if he needs them, and Diaz, of course, as well. So if Brentford play that way, or again, in this game, if Arsenal want to play long and play that way, it's going to be difficult. They own the ball. The high pressure as well means that it's very difficult to get out as well. So it's so difficult. I think that the answer for Arsenal in this game, and the answer for anyone in this league, is that if you want to beat Man City, you've got to be perfect. You have to be perfect, because Arsenal are an interesting team right now. And I'm intrigued to see these little tests for them throughout the season of like this new team, that new identity that they've got. What is the ceiling? What are the ceiling for Tomiyasu? What are the ceiling for, Emil Smith-Rowe, Odegaard, and those players? And these are the tests, because first of all, this is an Arsenal side that doesn't really press that much. So they're not going to have the ball a lot of the time. So they're going to have to be very, very smart in how they play. And then when they get the ball, they're not that quick in transition either. So there's a reason why they keep losing these games, I think, of Arsenal, because one, Man City is switched on. But secondly, I don't think Arsenal have got a plan in place to beat a team like Man City right now. Of course, we know what happened in the Liverpool game recently as well. They got absolutely battered in that one. So I just really, really struggle to see how they are able to break them down. I think it's as simple as how Leicester beat Liverpool recently, where, they get a bit of luck. There's a penalty there. If that goal goes in, Liverpool win that game. Let's be honest. But they just need that. You need to get to 20 minutes, then to halftime, then sneak a goal. And that's where it's got to, hasn't it? For a team that's doing well and looking like they're going to be in the top 4 possibly this season.
They just cannot concede first. If they concede first, the game is done, because Manchester City will suffocate the life out of them. And I look at Arsenal, I think Martinelli and Saka could be so important, because the one time I think you get City on the run potentially is when you do nick possession in midfield, which Xhaka and Partey have the capacity to do, and hit it down the sides. You've got to get Diaz in wide areas. You've got to get Laporte, who actually thinks pretty good in wide areas. But Zinchenko will probably play at left back. Cancelo will play at right back. And that means there's no Walker, which means pace does have a chance. The problem is teams will get these little half moments. and you've got to have the quality. You've got to be ready in them half moments, which is why I actually think Manchester United are the only team in the current moment that are actually suited to taking on Man City and actually potentially beating them. Because when it lands to Rashford or Bruno or Ronaldo, they've got like a little bit of quality that can get you over the line. I just think this Arsenal team, you already know Man City are winning 1-0 because Sterling loves a goal against Arsenal. So Arsenal need to score 2. And I don't know if any team will score 2 against City unless it's Liverpool or Manchester United. I just wonder, the only way, I mean, to the latter part of the question, the only way City fall off now, I think anyway, and it's a really, really left field shout, but if Ederson gets injured, because that's the only position where I think they don't really have the right amount of cover. Because we said, they don't have a striker, but they play with so many false nines. It's getting ridiculous. Like, there needs to be a new formation name for Manchester City because people chipping with goals everywhere. Bernardo Silva one week was a goal scorer in midfield, and the next week he's the best 6 in the world. It's just, how do you stop that? Like, do you sit there and go, listen, we're going to lose, like a lot of teams have done? And that is my frustration, actually. I don't know, watching the Brentford game, did you feel as though Brentford just went, we're not going to beat these guys, so let's just let them beat us?
I think they had the same plan that they've had against most teams that they've played this year, which is to get balls up to Ivan Toney, to get bodies up there as well. I think in the first half, they had moments where they won a few fouls. The crowd got going as well. And they had a couple of moments where they did nearly score, had one cleared off the line from Cancelo. So that is a route to it. I think you're right. It's interesting when you talk about, say, Leicester City beating Man City, not this season, but last season, it was those players in midfield being quick and be able to beat the press. Maybe there's something here. If you're trying to be optimistic, Emil Smith-Rowe and Odegaard are playing really well at the moment, can play in those areas and are comfortable to a point, quite press-proof as well. So there might be a route down that way. And Emil Smith-Rowe's in great form. He could score in 4 games in a row now. But as you said, Raheem Sterling has scored in each of his last 3 and loves goals against Arsenal. So I think we've kind of gone down a very clear road here of how good Man City are. And you're right. I think there's no way that Man City fall off. You know, Chelsea, we've seen it with a lack of, it's a bit clunky at times, maybe, and they needed Lukaku back. Liverpool, you're always wondering if there's 1 or 2 injuries, then the wheels could fall off somewhat. But with Man City, they just feel very, very unstoppable. So those other sides have got to be perfect. This game, I think we're both going for Man City. What is your score prediction, though? I'm going to go with, I think it could be another ugly one for them. I think it could be 3-0 Man City for me. What do you think?
I mean, considering the last 5 games against Arsenal, the aggregate's 15-0 to Man City. I'll go 4-0 Man City. I just hope Arsenal score first to give Manchester City something to think about. Otherwise, these games are getting a bit silly. We know what's going to happen. Or a dodgy red card. But Fernandinho is best friends with referees, so maybe this referee won't be best friends with him. Something might happen. I'm keen to know if people have a solution. So get in the comments and let us know, and every manager in the Premier League, if there is a way to beat Manchester City.
Hi guys, James Allcott here from ESPN's Football Forecast. Thank you for watching. If you've enjoyed the video and you want to check out more, make sure you subscribe to ESPN UK.